I've already started taking down my hammock and tarp before I decided to get a morning shot. Everyone, well, not everyone, most have already left. It's barely 8 o'clock right now. It rained for a few minutes this morning, but now it's picture postcard sky. Good morning. It's day 36. Checking my rearview mirror. It's day 36. I'm hiking from Flint Mountain Shelter. I remember this spot as a lunch stop on my last hike of this section. For what it's worth, it's a very pleasant wooded site, and had a nice evening. Very full shelter, and in addition to that, 8 or 10 probably tents around the shelter. So it was a good sized crowd last night, but very pleasant company. It's so funny how as soon as it gets dark, all the boisterous conversation just like ends abruptly and everybody goes to bed. And then this morning, sometime between 6 and 7, we had 2 brief rain showers, probably about 5 minutes each and 10 minutes apart, which was unexpected. Well, it has continued to rain intermittently enough so that I went ahead and put my pack cover on. I also have a second trash compactor bag. Those are a little bit small to put the entire contents of my backpack in one. So I have one for my shelter and clothes, and then the other stuff is just loose in the backpack. I went ahead and put the rest of the things, which is my food bag and my everything else bag and my tarp bag, in the second one, and then put the pack cover on, so I don't have to worry about damp or wet gear in the event that my backpack wets through, which it usually does in a all-day rain situation. But right now it's just lightly sprinkling again, even though there was a little bit of an outburst a few minutes ago that prompted this. Well, let's see. That looks like it's a fresh sign from today. It's not dated, but let's see what's going on at the gap. I'm gonna have to go across the road up there and then double back to get to the magicians.
Yep. They call me Moses by the end of the
I'm doing veggies and hummus right now.
My mom would probably be scared
Black
if
coffee.
I had a beard.
The trail changes you.
I hear you. Believe me, I've been there. Done that. Yeah, very welcome.
Well, the sun came out again. We're hoping for a clear sky for the eclipse this afternoon. I think we're only going to get about 80% at this location, from what I've been overhearing. I was gonna say, these woods behind me are so beautiful, it's almost lost on having to concentrate on this climb. But every time I stop to take a breath, I look around and it's like amazing. It's very picturesque. And down lower with the waterfall earlier, I'd seen that waterfall from way down below. I could see it way up on the hillside and had hoped the trail would double back. And sure enough, it did. And so we crossed right at the foot of the waterfall, which is pretty amazing. I keep saying we. I don't know who I mean by we, because I'm usually hiking alone. So now it suddenly strikes me that I mean myself and the trail, perhaps. I think earlier I was thinking like myself and you, the audience. Now I almost feel like it's me and the trail I'm speaking of in the plural. That's a little more poetic, I think. Not to discount you guys, the audience, but look at that. It's like I'm walking through a fairy tale postcard. Plus, I think spring is starting to really show itself. It's all kind of ground cover. Moss is green, the low ground cover is green, and now certain flowers are starting to bloom even before the trees. The trees still look like this, but the ground is just a carpet of green. So according to my Peak Finder app, the high point there on the right is Big Bald, and the little one peeking out on the left is Little Bald, and that's what we'll be going over tomorrow. And it looks like this green stripe in the center here is probably I-26. So Sam's Gap is probably behind these hills right here, and that's where we're headed in the next few hours. It's like a bag of coffee. Hogback Ridge Shelter. Let me go down there. All right, I just had lunch at Hogback Ridge Shelter. There's a few other people there. I left the shelter right at like peak eclipse time, maybe 2 minutes after peak eclipse. We're very overcast here, so nobody's viewing the actual eclipse, but it is kind of gloomy and dark. Although, if I didn't know it was the eclipse, I would assume it was just the rain clouds and the rainy weather. But it is kind of gloomy right now. But yeah, arguably no different than it would have been with just rain clouds. Alright, arriving at Sam's Gate. As soon as I popped out of the woods and saw pavement, I dropped a phone call to the hostel. And the person I was chatting with on text message earlier now is headed this way to pick me up, so. All right, I made it to Nature's End Hostel. Creekside Cabins. That's the common area in that big barn there, but I'm headed over to the bunk room to see what bunks are still available. Bunk room is that little house right there. Bunk room looks about the size of one of the Creekside Cabins. So this is the bunk room.
All right, I'm gonna get my stuff
All right.
and head on.
Thank you very much.
I will see you guys at 7:15
7:15. All right.
What's at 7:15?
when I roll in here.